And we are live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is the Indy Perspective, episode number 23. And today we are discussing all things Catalyst Wrestling, real folk blues. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 2 nights away. It will be happening this Sunday live from Strong Rope Brewery in 185 Van Dyke Street in Red Hook, Brooklyn, New York. Yes, Catalyst Wrestling returns to Brooklyn for another stacked event, which you can get your tickets now by doing one of two things. One, you can go right now to that lovely QR code as you see in the graphic there. Scan the QR code, that takes you right to the ticket link and get your tickets there. Or you can go to the description down below and get your tickets there from the Brown Paper Tickets website and get your tickets that are starting at the low price of just $25. Again, for a stacked and star-studded event featuring some of the very best from around the world and some of your very favorites here at Catalyst Wrestling. So let us begin. Let's start off talking about one matchup here that I'm looking forward to, as it will be finally Bobby Orlando is getting his hands on the business. He's getting his hands on two men that betrayed him, two guys he thought were as close as a family unit to him, as it will be Bobby Orlando and Ron Bash Jr. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Bash Jr. is now part of Catalyst Wrestling. He's teaming up with Bobby Orlando once more, and they'll be taking on the business's own Eric Martin. Well, let me say Busky Eric Martin, and one half of the NWA USA Tag Team Champions, Wrecking Ball Legursky. Wrecking Ball and Eric Martin representing the business here. This is going to be a matchup you will not want to miss. Truly certain to be a true fight in this one in Cows Wrestling this Sunday. Again, we're going to be in Red Hook, so why not see a lot of those very rugged fights? And this one, a lot of feel to it. Like we said, that betrayal from the business to Bobby Orlando after the destruction of not only trying to just take out Bobby Orlando, but take out Bobby Jr. They did a whole field goal with Bobby Jr. that night. That again, I know that's in the mindset of Bobby Orlando and Ron Bass Jr. at the last event. He stood toe to toe with the big man himself, Wrecking Ball Legursky, and he just wanted to go. He wanted to throw down. And this Sunday, we see it happen in that squared circle. Now, let's go into the first championship matchup of the night we're going to talk about here, as it will be the Freestyle Championship on the line, as defending champion, the Savage Gentleman himself, Victor Benjamin, my apologies, returns, as he will be with the Real Deal himself. In their opposing corner will be, he is the technical extraterrestrial. He is the destroyer god, a true veteran of the game, Ghost Shadow, with both Lex Luthor and Jay Fire. Now, with this matchup, it's already going to be the insanity of the third time these two will square off. However, it is not your normal matchup. It is not going to be an ordinary one fall to the finish. Or, well, it depends on the circumstance that comes out of this. Because before we get to the match, we will be having a rap battle in the center of that ring. The winner of the battle will determine the stipulation of their championship matchup that night. So imagine what the stipulation could be, what could possibly happen. And again, it is the third time we finally see these two square off. Will we finally have a definite winner in this series? As it's been, again, a just insane bout after bout between Ghost Shadow and the Savage Gentleman, Victor Benjamin. Can Victor Benjamin walk out again with those two championships? He's still carrying that lovely, the Catalyst Wrestling Freestyle Championship and that Peanut Butter Platoon, the, again, that Butterfinger Championship. The Butterfinger Platoon is very happy with that Butterfinger Championship there. Let's see what happens after this Sunday. But then let's talk about now the Catalyst Wrestling Women's Championship tournament is kicking off this weekend, as it will be a triple threat matchup, a three-way dance, if you will, as it will be the baddest bitch on the block, Valentina Vasquez, going head to head with JC Storm. And finally, last but not least, will be Queen Aminata. Queen Aminata being brought to us by Women's Wrestling Army, sponsored by Women's Wrestling Army here. And this matchup is going to be one you cannot miss. The Catalyst Wrestling Women's Division is being, again, it's finally coming back into full fruition here. Unfortunately, due to in the pandemic, the division wasn't as flourishing, as big as it could be. But Valentina has made that prevalent, made that statement of she's been there though from day one till now. This is what's making her, she says, the defined champion already in Catalyst Wrestling, and she looks to prove that this Sunday in round one. But you have to look at the stakes right now. Currently, JC Storm, she's 1-0 in Catalyst Wrestling. She debuted at the previous event, and not only did she make her debut, but it was a successful debut against Valentina and Janai Kai. So now, as we look at it, we're going to see JC currently undefeated. Valentina looking to prove again that she is the Catalyst Wrestling Women's Division. But then you have a fierce competitor in Queen Aminata, a traveled, almost, I don't want to say just because of that, but a true seasoned competitor here already. She's done travels all around. She has that veteran mindset already, and she's studying under some great competitors as well. So I can't wait to see what happens when all three go at it this Sunday. And again, this is only kicking off the tournament. This is round one. So expect so much more to come as the Catalyst Wrestling Women's Division is growing and becoming something very special. You're not going to want to miss what happens next. Now, let's talk about another championship matchup here. Let's talk about those Catalyst Wrestling Tag Team Championships being defended in a Tornado Tag Team matchup. The Tri-State Saints. Now, unfortunately, like we learned at the last event, one of the Tri-State Saints, the Cambodian axe murderer himself, Joker, unfortunately is down with injury. So Joker will not be able to be there at this event either. However, the Prince of Camden himself, Deshaun Pratt, has stepped up, another of the Unks, the great lineage of history in tag team professional wrestling and in the independent circuit in general. Deshaun Pratt stepped up and joined Tri-State Saints and had an amazing 6-man tag at the last Catalyst Wrestling event. But now we go into Real Folk Blues. The main event want gold after being, unfortunately, we have to say, decimated because the Tri-State Saints left the main event out, taking Jay Lyon's mask. The Blazing Lion lost his mask at our last event. We want to see, hopefully, he can claim a new mask before this Sunday's event. But it will be the main event with Peter Avalon in their corner. It will be the main event versus the Tri-State Saints. But now the question is, this is a tornado tag. So which two of the Tri-State Saints will step up to the plate this Sunday? Who will be the two to want to make that fight happen in Red Hook? Again, it's going to be a matchup you're not going to want to miss. And the question is, what element does Pretty Peter Avalon have to play in this as well? What will Peter Avalon do? Because again, it's a tornado tag, but you have to expect that it's not going to end with just 4 men in that ring, possibly a combination of 6 or how many ever. You know there's going to be chaos. There's going to be some hectic things happening this Sunday at Real Folk Blues, and we can't wait to see it go down for those Catalyst Wrestling Tag Team Championships. But now let's go on to another championship match. The championship matches are going insane in Catalyst Wrestling. Let's talk about this, as it will be the Sapphire TV Championship, as defending champion O'Shea Edwards defends against the Deaf Samurai, Akira, and Ray Jazz, the Jersey legend. He's coming to us from Jersey. He's looking to constantly prove that Jersey is superior to all other places. I don't know if I can agree with Ray Jazz, but again, he makes quite a point to show it in that ring. But this right here could be it. This could be an amazing reason for these three to face that lovely Sapphire Television Championship. But now, we have been told by Callis matchmaker, the lovely Allison Danger herself, that this matchup will not only be for the Sapphire Television Championship, but it will also be the winner of this matchup will be the new Sapphire Television Champion. They will also have a guaranteed Catalyst Heavyweight Championship matchup at the anniversary event. So that is insane to think that not only could we possibly see a new champion between those three. Well, again, O'Shea Edwards is looking to make sure he walks out still champion. But to think, go into the mindset right now of the Deaf Samurai, who already has his issues with current Gallows Wrestling champion Darius Carter. He now has the opportunity to take down the Carter group like that, becoming the new Sapphire champion, and then once again getting a shot at that Catalyst Heavyweight champion. Or for Ray Jazz, think about the hat trick that it could be to, again, continue to prove why he is just that much better and become the new Sapphire Television champion and then go on to challenge for the Catalyst Heavyweight Championship. For O'Shea, though, the question now remains, what will happen if he does walk out victorious? He retains this Sunday. Will he use that championship opportunity if Darius Carter retains in his own match that night? And if he's still champion by the time of anniversary? This is something you're not going to want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. This matchup is truly going to be a fight, as there's so much riding on it. Not only championship, but again, that glory of being in the main event of Catalyst Wrestling Anniversary. But now let's go into a matchup. We've talked about gold. We've talked about just so much going on. But now let's talk about two men that were as close as brothers. Two ducks in a pond. Two guys that, again, they've traveled that road together. They've seen the distance. They've done it all. The last bastion, Colby Corino, taking on Rob Killjoy. And it's right there on the graphic. You can see it. It says it's a grudge match. But it goes so much deeper than that. It goes so much more farther than just the words a grudge. Because this is something that it truly, it's you can't put it into words. The mindset right now of Rob Killjoy, when you have to think about what Colby Corino has done. Colby Corino has not only has he just been that thorn in a perfect rose here, but he's turned those that Rob Killjoy, again, we're still close to. When you think about what he did to TIM, the Infinite Man, bringing him as well into the business, and just adding this surmount of just what Rob thought was a peaceful family. What the Ugly Ducklings were that unit, that whole unit that would come to the area. Again, like I said, those miles traveled, that just, it's insane. And it's been seen throughout the months in Catalyst Wrestling how Colby is avoided. And finally, we saw in Chilos Netico, we saw them finally get their hands, and Rob Killjoy finally gets this singles opportunity here. It will be Colby Corino and Rob Killjoy. And outside of all the matches happening this Sunday, this is one that I feel like Catalyst Wrestling might need a little more security that night. Catalyst Wrestling might need to reinforce the ring on, because this is going to truly be more than just any match. This is truly going to be a fight between two ducklings, between two friends, now foes, between two of the very best going at it today. and you're going to want to get your tickets to see this. Like I said, get your tickets right now. Go to the graphic once again. Scan that QR code, get your tickets, or go to the description down below and get your tickets right now because they're going pretty fast. Next up, let's talk about this 8-person tag team matchup, as it will be Team GANGONE versus Team Hudson County Horror Show, as it will be Anthony GANGONE, TJ Epics, HC Loke, and Kid Bandit going head to head with Zach Amico's just insanity of the horror show in Twitch. Devontae's King Jeter and the returning Elijah Proctor. And this 8-person tag is insanity at its finest. As last month we saw Zach Amico's twisted, just what he can do, the power that Zach Amico has, that he turned the ever so loved Leroy, Big Game Leroy, he turned him into just an evil side that we've never seen in Catalyst Wrestling and never thought could possibly happen. And we saw Big Game Leroy take on TJ Epics, Kid Bandit, and a friend, Anthony GANGONE. Luckily, TJ, Kid, and Anthony GANGONE were able to get Leroy back onto the right side. But unfortunately now, we've been told, because Leroy Green was supposed to be a part of this match, Big Game Leroy was going to be in the spot of now being occupied by TJ Epics. But unfortunately, again, Zach Amico, I don't know what he has done, but Leroy has not been found. We cannot find Big Game Leroy. And HC Loke is ready to fight. He is ready to now stand side by side with Anthony GANGONE and Kid Bandit. He has told Anthony GANGONE, he has told Team GANGONE here that he has someone ready to do it again, to fight again, and that is TJ Epics. TJ had a little bit of that taste at the last Catalyst Wrestling event. He's ready to do more in this one. And again, we have this destructive 8-person tag team matchup here, which again, you look at that opposing side of Team GANGONE, you look at Team Hudson County Horror Show, and it is truly monstrous. What has become of Twitch, this lovable intern that the fans were starting to cheer behind. They were starting to see that, again, they felt bad for Twitch. We felt bad for Twitch. And now seeing just what he's become, he's starting to truly accept and believe what Zach Amico has said. It's insane to see what he's able to do to people that have tried to help him, to Anthony GANGONE, to Valentina. And it's just insanity. And this Sunday, it comes down to it again, 8-person tag. I'm hoping that Team GANGONE is able to, again, clear this evil that we're seeing in Catalyst Wrestling. Or again, we're going to have to find out what happens with this horror show. Because again, look at the return here. We have Elijah Proctor, and you never know what evil Zach Amico has behind him. It's insane that, again, Zach Amico can do basically as he wishes because he's bringing out different members. He's able to find some way to turn those most loved evil. I'm hoping to stay away from Zach Amico because I do not want to get on the wrong side of Zach Amico because we've seen what happens. But this Sunday, Team GANGONE looks to do just that, and we'll see what happens when all 8 competitors go head-to-head in Catalyst Wrestling at Real Folk Blues. But let's now get into another insane matchup here. A matchup that this one's a little interesting to me because Carter Mason, the formerly King of the North, Carter Mason, a man that we've known to be from Canada, from the great up north, from the land of just a great wrestling country, has almost denounced Canada and has truly developed this love for NYC, which is appreciated. It's appreciated he's calling himself now dead ass Carter Mason, but he's truly starting to pick just at things that when you're in New York, you do not want to say, especially when it comes to an NYC legend like the notorious 187 homicide. And this Sunday, Carter Mason, he's going to get his, the best way I can put it is he's going to get baptized by the godfather of New York City wrestling. He is going to have to face, if he wants to even think about claiming a little bit of the throne of the greats in NYC wrestling, he's going to have to face the king of them all. And that is what the notorious 187 homicide is. A bona fide pro wrestling Hall of Famer, the current reigning and defending NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, a man that's history, his lineage is just continues and continues in this business. I could have a whole hour here and still not be able to say enough about the notorious 187 homicide. And Carter Mason has, again, he picked out the wrong barrier. He went after trying to take over this town. He made his comments very just intriguing comments because I want to be impartial here. But when you say these things, Carter Mason, my apologies, but, and excuse my language to anyone listening, you've done fucked up. Because the notorious 187 has heard these comments and has heard this almost mockery that you're making of his beloved town. And especially, you chose the Mets out of all teams to support Carter Mason. This Sunday, it's gonna be something. And again, unbiased, neutral as ever here on the podcast. I can't wait to see though what Carter Mason does, because I know he's watching this. He's studied the greats of NYC, and he knows how important a matchup like this against the notorious 187 homicide is. He knows all those accolades I was just talking about. He knows all of that. But is he ready for when that's what's staring him across the ring? Find out this Sunday at Real Folk Blues. But now let's get into another matchup that is truly become a social media conversation and has become something that is trending, if you will, because these two exchanged words and comments, and it has been insanity. Because you have the infinite TIM, a man that has truly redefined his career, has truly shown that he has that chip on his shoulder, and he's looking to just kick it off every single time he steps into a professional wrestling ring. TIM, I have to give it to him, even though his tactics aren't the most liked and the most pleasable. TIM truly showcases greatness in that ring every single time he steps in it. Is it with the business or even alone? TIM truly showcasing a new defined style of his own. But when you're going to talk about a lot of things in professional wrestling, we talk about that mileage. We talk about the just what you have to do to prove that in this business and show you are going to be one of the best or the greatest. And then you bring that up to a guy that's truly gotten to do almost everything in this business and still doesn't get his proper flowers. He's going to respond. And that is what Jack Evans has done. He has responded to TIM when TIM talked about his 27 hours in his car, when TIM talked about what he has done. And Jack Evans said, you still have so much to learn here. Jack Evans, to him, he shows that this isn't about the likes. This isn't about the little clips for clout. This isn't about all this. Jack Evans lives, breathes, and dies for this business. And again, Jack Evans, a true veteran of the game as well. He's an innovator. There's a reason they call him Jack Evans from the heavens, because he spends more time in the air than he does on his 2 feet. But this matchup right here, ladies and gentlemen, I implore you to, if there's any matchup that you need to make sure. This whole card is must see. I have to use that phrase, but this matchup right here is one that you are not going to want to miss, especially being there live this Sunday. No matter what, you have to make sure you are there from entrance to final bell, because this is going to be a matchup that you're going to be talking about for weeks to come, to the new year and beyond, because these two, I can already see it, are going to be stealing the show. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not even it. We still have one more insane matchup to talk about. I'm looking at the clock here. We've gone 26 minutes. And that could be it. That could be ready. That is a sold show right there. You should have by now scanned the QR code and gotten your tickets, or gone to the link in the description down below and gotten your tickets. You should already be ready to just go. But let's talk about one more match that, if I haven't sold you enough on this amazing card, is definitely going to do it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let us talk about the Catalyst Wrestling Heavyweight Championship being defended this Sunday, as it will be Mr. Darius Carter, the All-Father, the Crusader of Change. He is wrestling's most richest prize. Darius Carter defends that championship, the Catalyst Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, against another legend in this business. One half of the legendary Motor City Machine Guns. One half of the current New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions. A former X Division champion. A former champion everywhere he has gone, be it the US, Mexico, Japan, all around the globe. This man has shown his accolades. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Shelley makes his debut this Sunday in Catalyst Wrestling, and he's going all the way to the top as he steps up to the history-breaking reign here. Darius Carter is ranking up. He's trying to get to that number one seed as the longest reigning champion in Catalyst Wrestling. He is almost there. And Alex Shelley is the man that stands in his way from reaching a little higher. Alex Shelley, a man that has truly been a part of some of the most insane battles you can think of in professional wrestling. Alex Shelley, a man that's been a part of some of the greatest factions. When you think of Generation Next, when you think of the Embassy, you think of, again, that team that I said earlier, the Motor City Machine Guns. And Alex Shelley continues to truly innovate and change the game every single time he steps into that squared circle. And this Sunday, Darius Carter makes that all. He wants to end that talk here. He wants to show he is greater than Alex Shelley. He said it in his comments getting ready for this matchup. Darius Carter did something Alex Shelley unfortunately could not, and that is win the ECWA Super 8, a very prestigious tournament, especially when it comes to the tri-state area. And Darius Carter did it. Darius Carter was able to win the Super 8 this year, to be specific. And Darius Carter is still holding on to that Catalyst Wrestling Heavyweight Championship while doing it. So this Sunday, Darius Carter looks to show Alex Shelley that this isn't just any ordinary challenge. This isn't just another opponent under Alex Shelley's belt. This Sunday, Darius Carter looks to keep something else away from Alex Shelley, and that is that Catalyst Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. And ladies and gentlemen, this is truly going to be a main event matchup that you are not going to want to miss. So again, that is a star-studded card, all happening this Sunday. Real Folk Blues. Catalyst Wrestling is presenting to you their last event of the year. 2023 is already looking to be something spectacular and insane in Catalyst Wrestling. but end off the year with this insane event here. Date will be November the 6th. That is this Sunday. Set it on your calendar, set your reminder. Make sure you're there this Sunday at the Strong Rope Brewery in 185 Van Dyke Street. Again, it's in Brooklyn, a wrestling town. The New York City cannot get any better. And the tickets starting at the low price of just $25. Like I said, by now you should have done it, but go to the graphic, go to that QR code, scan the QR code, make sure you get your tickets, or go to the description down below where you're going to be able to follow Callous Wrestling on all their social media and get those tickets just to make sure, unless you want to follow them right here as well, go follow Callous Wrestling at Callous Wrestle on Twitter. Go follow them on Instagram there, Callous Wrestle. And again, guys, go support great independent wrestling. It is going to be a stacked event from top to bottom. We talked about it all throughout this video. You're not going to want to miss any of these insane clashes as Callous Wrestling truly bringing banger after banger after banger and truly showcasing just a true alternative in professional wrestling. And again, support your local independent wrestling, support wrestling. Be something positive and truly be that change and help us continue to show that respect and love for this craft that we love in professional wrestling. This is the reason I did this video because, again, unfortunately, I'm not at the best of my conditions right now. I'll definitely be better, and unfortunately, I'll be missing this Sunday's event. But you guys definitely should be there. Go enjoy. Go support a company I definitely love and I'm glad to be a part of. Go show them love, show them support, and be there and watch an insane card featuring some of truly the best doing it today. So as always, guys, my name is Ray Sanchez. Don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft, and go support Callous Wrestling and go support independent wrestling. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.